Welcome to the DevWorm channel, and today we're going to be adding a boss fight to our RPG for episode 11 of the How to Make an Action RPG series, in which I teach you step by step how to create an amazing RPG game in Godot. But before we get started, I just want to ask if you could go down there, hit the subscribe button, drop a like on this video, as it helps YouTube push this series to more people so more inspiring game developers can learn to make their own Godot games as well. But let's get started with creating this boss slime for our RPG game. Okay, so to start with our boss, first I want to mention something that we already have a normal slime in this game, right? And if you want to learn to make this exact normal slime, because we're going to be using this to make the boss. So this is going to be like, we're kind of just going to be copying this over and changing up a bunch of stuff. If you want to learn to make this slime in depth, then I go over it like very step by step in this tutorial right here on screen. It's very beginner friendly, so if you need help trying to make this normal slime or just a normal enemy of yours, then this is the video for you. But then you can come back to this video so you can make a boss of that same enemy or a different enemy. It doesn't really matter. But we want to get started by making a brand new scene and another node and a kinematic body. And then we'll just name this boss slime because it's going to be our boss. And then we want to go to our slime. This is what I'm talking about. We're just going to copy all this right here and then paste it right there, right? But I'll go over kind of what's here. So you have an animated sprite, just the frames, right? Basic. You have a collision shape for the sprite, basic, and then you have an area 2D, and it's this circle, right? So for our boss, we want it to be all the way, right? Just as big as you possibly can, because we want it to detect everything, right? No matter what, because we always want the boss to be coming towards the player. Or for this instance, we do. And then everything else is fine. We just want to get our animated sprite, and then we want to scale it up a little bit. So we'll just animated sprite, make it like, that should be good. Let me move this down here, or I guess it's fine. It's fine. I'll move this up here so that we can get to the animated sprite, and we can move it, center it up. And then the collision shape, we want to make it bigger, right? Because we want to make it fit the new enemy or the new size. So I'll just do something like this, and that should be good. So now we have a bigger slime, which is our boss slime. We can save the scene. So now we have a boss slime. It's basically bigger. So if we go to our world and we import it, obviously it's not really gonna work. There's nothing going on, but you can, whoops. Boss slime. You can kind of see it's like, it's much bigger now. We kind of just scaled it up, right? But I will also want to go to the boss slime, and then we're gonna make a brand new script, right? Boss slime.gd. And I'm going to go to the slime script, and I'm just going to copy all this, right? Obviously, we're going to change it up a lot, but this is why I'm saying if you don't already have an enemy, like, I'll kind of go over what this does. It's just like, it gets right here, it's just getting the position of the player, right? So it just gets the position of the player, and then it moves it towards that position. That's kind of all this script does. So if you don't already have a code like this, or you have no idea how that works, then make sure you do go watch that episode where we make the slime, because it will really help you out, trust me. So now that we have our basically our boss slime, but it's kind of the same as a normal slime, it does everything the same as a normal slime right now, but that's going to change, right? So first of all, this cannot be on all the time, because if it's on all the time, I'll kind of show you. So right now, if we go to our Y sort and we instance our boss slime, it should come at us, right? Because we would be in the zone, right? Because we're in the zone. But I'll show you how this works. So it's not going to come at us, right? Even though we're in the zone, it does not come at us because our body never entered the zone. See, you can see this slime. Oh, here, let's make this easier. Let's do debug, visible collision shapes, and then watch. So you see this slime down here, right? We're not in its zone. This slime, we are in its zone. Its zone's massive, right? The entire screen's covered in blue because its zone's so big. but it's not coming at us, right? But this slime here, and it's the exact same as this slime, but when we go in, because the slime chases you once you enter its zone, and when we start inside the zone, we can't really enter the zone, if that makes sense, because it just can't pick that up. So to fix this, we'll go to our boss slime, and we will go to add a timer node. We'll set this to 1 shot and auto start, and we'll just go to like half a second, right? And then we can send a signal, the timeout, to the boss slime script. And then here in this timeout, we can just we can get our detection area and our collision shape, and then we can make it like disabled or not disabled, but we want it to be disabled, right? So because disabled, if it says true, then that means it won't work. If it says false, that means it will work. So then we want to go to our slime, or we want to go to our collision shape inspector, and then we want to disable it, right? So now it should be gray. So when we start the game, we're going to see that this is going to be gray, and then it's going to go blue. You see that? So technically it should now work. Technically, let's add a little bit more time and see what happens. Let's see, timer. Let's see, so it's off and it turns on. That's good. It's off and it turns, okay, I know what's happening. Okay, so our boss, we have this, but there's no signals linked up, right? So we got to go to our detection area, and then we'll send a body entered, because we just copy and pasted the code, right? So it has to have this little door. If it doesn't have this little door, just make sure you send the signal again. But now, for the 5th time in a row, it now works, right? So now we get chased by the boss whenever the game starts, right? Okay, so that's good. So I'm just gonna go back over here to our timer, and I'm just gonna lower this time again to 0.5. That's fine. So a boss has more health, so we're gonna change its health up here to 200. A boss is, I guess it can be slower, it can be faster. We're gonna make it a little bit slower. And then our boss, it works kinda, like it has health and everything. If we print health, like we'll just right here, but obviously we have a lot more to add, right? We have to add a little plate, so if we step on the plate, then the boss spawns, right? We don't just want him to be on the spawn already, right? We want to have something that you interact with that then makes the boss spawn. So we're going to be adding that in here just in a second. We also need a health bar, but for now I just want to go to a world right here, and then if we attack, you can see its health going down, right? So if we attack it, its health goes down just like a normal slime, and then it disappears just like that, which is fine, because this is what we did in that's what happens to the normal slime. But now it has 200 health and 20 speed, right? So all boss fights have a health bar. So to add this, we're gonna go to our boss slime, we're gonna add a control, and then under the control we want to add a progress bar, and then we can just move these around and position them however you would like to. I'm just gonna make it pretty small, or as small as I can, just something like that. That's fine, right? But it's ugly, completely ugly, right? So to fix this, we gotta go to theme, and we can make a custom theme. And this actually gets pretty complicated. Like this, sometimes it confuses me because it has nothing to do with anything, right? It's like just graphics. It's pretty confusing, but I'm gonna try and go through this as easy as possible. So we have a theme. This is under the progress bar. So click on the progress bar, and then you scroll down to the inspector area, and then there's gonna be this theme tab. So we're gonna open up the theme, and then we're just gonna click new theme, and then once you have this theme in here, you can click on it. It will bring up all this, but I just want to right click on the theme, and then it's going to bring up this area, and then you want to click save, and you can save this as boss health bar, right? Boss health bar. So now that we saved it, we can click on it again, then it's going to come up with custom okay, wait. No. We go to edit theme, add class item. Yeah, I forgot. Okay, so now, and then we want to add a, click on these 3 dots over here, and then you want a progress bar, add all. And now, once you click on the theme, you can see a progress bar appears here, a resource appears here. We want to go into the progress bar. And then we have kind of everything that we need here. So, font color, I'm going to go with black for our font color. What do we do? Hold up. We clicked off of it. Progress bar. So font color black. And then we want to go to our style. This is going to be the background. And then that's the foreground. So background, we want a style box flat. This is going to be for our kind of like our background. So background color, what we're going to want to do here is we're going to want to make the background color transparent. And then we're going to add some borders. So we'll just make that transparent. And then we'll go to borders. And then we can make this any color. We'll go with white. And then border width. This completely depends on the size, right? So you might have one border. It's how many pixels, right? So I'm just going to go with like 2. But that completely depends on how big your box is, right? Because if my box is this big, the borders are going to stay the exact same size because it's based on pixels and not percentage of the box, if that makes sense. So you may have 10 pixel border or 20, 30 pixel border, but I'm going to go with a 2 pixel border because it looks good here. And then what we're going to need is we're going to want to go to the foreground down here. We're going to create a style box flat just like we just did. And then the background color here is going to be kind of whatever color you want your bar to be. So if you want it like red, like a health bar, you would pick red. I like green for health bars just because I think it's better. I think it looks better. But we'll go with there. And then we want to make our border transparent. So we'll just put the A value all the way down. And then our border width, you want your border width here to be the same as your border width was for the foreground or for the background. So we can now kind of close out of this. You see, it doesn't really look like anything, but if we go to our progress bar, we go all the way up to the top where it says value. You can put in any value. So like 20% it shows, 90%, it fills up the bar just like it's supposed to, right? So it's obviously going to start at 100%. And then we are going to want to go back to our script because now we need to update it. So, I mean, if we play the game, let's play it real fast. If you play the game, you can kind of see it's there, but it doesn't update, right? So to update this health bar, we're going to want to go to our boss script. And in our physics process right here, we're just going to do we're going to access our health bar. Well, we called it for us, it's just called control. Let's rename this. Rename health bar. And then up here, now we can get health bar and then progress bar. And then we want to get value, so we can change the value. And then we want it to be equal to our health, right? But our health is 200. So we have to divide it by 2, right? Because really, if you think about it, if our health here is 100, that would be half of 200. If it's 150, it would be 3/4 of 200. So if we divide by 2, then let's say our health is 150, right? So it'd be 150 divided by 2, which would equal 75, right? So it'd be 75%, and that's what it would show in the bar. So this kind of depends on what your health is. If it's by 100, so if your health is only 100, then you wouldn't need to divide it by anything, right? If your health is 300, you would want to divide it by 3. If it's 400, divide it by 4, right? If it's 150 health, then you would want to divide it by 1.5, right? So hopefully that makes sense. And then now our progress bar, it should update, right? So we'll test it. We'll test it in our world. And then you can kind of see, hold up. There's too much stuff happening. There's too many slimes. You can kind of see once we damage it, it does go down, right? It does update. So that works, but we don't want the boss to spawn off start. We need something like we need some type of input that allows the boss to spawn. And if we go to our cave, first of all, in the cave, I'm gonna delete both of these slimes. But if we do go to the cave, from the last tutorial where we went over dialogue, you can see, are you a real person? I've been down here for years. Oh, do not touch that red plate. We don't have a red plate yet, but we're about to add it. And then you have to trust me on this. It will not end well, so please. And that's when the boss is gonna spawn, right? Once we touch the red plate. So, to do this, we're gonna go to our Y sort on our cave. This is the scene where the boss is gonna be, so if that makes sense. We're gonna instance our boss slime on this Y sort. And then we can move it to wherever we want. We'll move it over here. I'm gonna put the red pressure plate over here. So to add this kind of has nothing to do with the boss fight, but I just want to show you, like, once it happens, how would you spawn it in. So we'll go to our cave. This is gonna be like, I'm just gonna make this real quick. So it's a color rect, and not that at all. An area 2D, and then a collision shape, and then collision shape will be square, that, and then our color rect, hold up, oh, we're moving everything. All right, so this is gonna be our pressure plate here, just fine. And then our collision shape, let's put it back in our area 2D collision shape. Let's even it out a little bit. There you go, right? And then our color rect, let's make it like a dark red, so it kind of matches the theme a little bit better. And then from our area 2D, we want to go to our node, and we want to do body entered. So a body entered node from our area 2D up to our, let's see, so yeah, we're gonna send this straight to the boss slime. Now in the boss slime, what we're gonna want to do is we're going to want to tell the boss slime to make itself visible, right? And that's easy. So it's just self.visible equals true. But we need the boss to start off as hidden. So we'll go to our boss, inspector, visibility, and we want it to be off, right? So now when we start the game, there's no slime. But what you can't see is the slime can, yeah, see, we can still interact and everything with the slime, which is not good. But you can see once we go in here, the slime spawns. But to fix that, we want to go to our boss slime, and this is a quick fix. We can just go down here. First of all, we want to get our collision shape, and we want to make that visible. So collision shape, so we can't collide with it. Dot disabled equals false. And then we want to go to our collision shape here, and then we want to disable it off spawn. And then we also don't want it to be moving around. So this is the function that moves it, right? So if we have a player, like if we have a path to the player, then it's gonna play this. But before we check, even before we check if we have a path, we want to do if self.visible is equal to true. then we'll do this. So only if we are in the game, only if the boss is active, right? If it's alive, then it is going to do that. So now if we go to cave, you can see there's no sign of the boss, right? We can walk all through his zone. Zero sign of the boss. And then even whenever we go step on the pressure plate, he's going to spawn over there like he's supposed to. And then his collision shape's still not on. So disabled. Let's see. So let's see what this is. Okay. So if we play, we spawn him in. His collision shape should be on, right? But his collision shape's not working. Okay. That's weird. Whoa. So he's hitting me. Yeah, he's hitting me, but I can't hit him. Or whenever I'm standing here and he hits me, he stops. But I can just walk right through him. That's actually weird. I have no idea why that is. Hold on, let me try and figure this out. Okay, so here's a problem for sure. We forgot to set up the layers. So we want it to be able to see the player and the environment, and then it is an enemy. So if we set that up, that should help solve some problems. And then if we play, I don't know why the collision shape's not showing, because look, like the collision shape's not working if it starts off. But watch this. If we go to our boss slime and we go to collision, let's see, where is it? Collision shape 2D, and we set it to working, and then we play. Let's play the cave. So, and then we play the cave. Then you can see his collision shape works fine, because he can't even walk through the walls anymore. And I can't walk through him anymore. And the health bar updates, which is good. That's a good thing. So, I mean, that is a simple boss fight right there. That is a simple boss fight right there. And you can just add special attacks to where it like spawns baby slimes in if you want. So if we give it one more play. Alright, first, let's actually just go to debug, turn all the visible collision shapes off, and then play. Then, okay, we're walking around, step on the collision shape, and the boss spawns in. And here we are, fight the boss to save the day. And the boss is dead. So that is all for how to make a boss fight, and I hope you learned something about making boss fights and bosses in your game, and I hope this series is helping you create your very first Godot game. But I want to thank you guys all so much for watching, and until next time, have a safe and a wonderful rest of your day.